The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone present to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection or prayer. As we reflect or pray in recognition of the anniversary of the first case of COVID-19 detected in New York, let us remember that more than 512,000 Americans and 47,000 New Yorkers have died from this deadly virus. Let us pray for their families and friends, that they find healing and solace. And let us pray for continuing progress in distributing the vaccines, that we may reach the light at the end of this dark tunnel and begin to rebuild a better society in the wake of such enormous tragedy. Reading of the journal.
In Senate, Sunday, February 28, 2021, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The journal of Saturday, February 27, 2021 was read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions. Messages from the Assembly. The Secretary will read.
Senator Gennardez moves to discharge from the Committee on Civil Service and Pensions Assembly Bill number 3354B, is substituted for the identical Senate Bill 2588A, third reading calendar 304.
Substitution so ordered.
Senator Gennardez moves to discharge from the Committee on Civil Service and Pensions Assembly Bill number 3988, is substituted for the identical Senate Bill 4681, third reading calendar 371.
Substitution so ordered. Messages from the Governor. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and reports from state officers. Motions and resolutions. Senator Gennardez.
Mr. President, we're going to begin by taking up the reading of the calendar, please.
The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 119, Senate Print 1034A by Senator Gianaris, an act to amend the labor law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect on the 30th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Senator Gennardez to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to my colleagues for supporting this important proposal. We are 1 year from the beginning of COVID impacting our state, and too many people have passed and gotten sick because we didn't take adequate steps in that time to protect the frontline workers, people who continue to go to work both because they had to provide for their families and also to keep our communities running during the pandemic. This bill today would require strict guidelines that employers would have to put into place at their places of employment to make sure that their workers are protected against airborne diseases like the coronavirus. Standards as it relates to PPE, air filtration, social distancing, et cetera, that for too many was lacking over the last several months. It also empowers workers through a workplace safety committee made up of employees to monitor and report failures to comply with these regulations. And so this was a bill that came together with the support of a lot of representatives of organized labor, activists around workplace safety, and I'm appreciative to all of them and to my colleagues for taking this important step to make things better for those we've been relying on so much over the last year. So I certainly vote in the affirmative, and I thank my colleagues who are also voting yes.
Senator Gennardez to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 119, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Borrello, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Jordan, Lanza, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rath, Ritchie, Sereno, Steck, Tedisco, and White. Ayes 46, nays 16.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 161, Senate Print 1209 by Senator Kaminsky, an act to amend the town law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act will take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 164, Senate Print 1393 by Senator Brooks, an act in relation to authorizing the town of Babylon to grant Long Island Teen Challenge of West Babylon a real property tax exemption.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 164, voted in the negative senators Akshar and O'Mara. Ayes 60, nays 2.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 197, Senate Print 1579A by Senator Parker, an act to amend the Real Property Action and Proceedings Law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Janoris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 197, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Boyle, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Jordan, Lanza, Martucci, Matera, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rath, Ritchie, Sereno, Steck, Tedisco, and White. Ayes 42, nays 20.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 243, Senate Print 1239 by Senator Mayer, an act to amend the education law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Janoris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 304, Assembly number 3354B by Assemblymember Fall, an act to amend the civil service law and the labor law.
Laid aside.
Calendar number 360, Senate Print 17A by Senator Mayer, an act to amend the labor law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Janoris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 360, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Helming, Jordan, Lanza, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Rath, Sereno, Tedisco, and Steck. Ayes 52, nays 10.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 365, Senate Print 3470 by Senator Kennedy, an act to amend the labor law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Janoris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 367, Senate Print 4049 by Senator Ramos, an act to amend the labor law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Janoris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 371, Assembly number 3988 by Assemblymember Abadi, an act to amend the retirement and social security law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Janoris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Senator Gurnardis to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to thank my colleagues in support for this legislation. Throughout the last year, and it's amazing how today has been the one-year mark since we know that we had our first death in New York City from the COVID virus. We have lost hundreds of public workers across the state, but no place greater than in New York City, where literally hundreds of people who had no choice but to go to work every single day, putting their lives on the line at a time when we didn't know what was coming down the pike, passed away from this virus. Last year, the legislature approved a death benefit bill to support those family members for the loved ones that we lost, and now we are doing the very simple step, a very important and symbolic step of extending the eligibility of that death benefit, which had previously expired on December 31st. I thank my colleagues for doing this. This is the right thing to do for the family members of public servants from Buffalo down to Brooklyn, out to the tip of Long Island, who sadly gave their life to the city, the state, their counties, all in the service of protecting others, and I thank everyone for their support.
Senator Gurnardis to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill is passed. Senator Gurnardis, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
You said Senator Gurnardis.
Let's go to the reading of the controversial calendar.
The secretary will ring the bell. The secretary will read.
Calendar number 304, Assembly number 3354B by Assemblymember Fall, an act to amend the civil service law and the labor law.
Senator Lanza, why do you rise?
Mr. President, I believe there's an amendment at the desk. I waive the reading of that amendment and ask that you recognize Senator Helming to be heard.
Thank you, Senator Lanza. Upon review of the amendment in accordance with Rule 6, Section 4B, I rule it non-germane and out of order at this time.
Accordingly, Mr. President, I appeal the ruling of the chair and ask that you recognize Senator Helming.
The appeal has been made and recognized, and Senator Helming may be heard.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise to appeal the ruling of the chair because the proposed amendment is clearly germane to Senate Bill 2588, the bill before the House that we seek to amend. Both the bill before us, Senator Gorin's bill, and the amendment, Senator Biaggi's bill, deal specifically with pandemic-related actions. More specifically, the amendment states the state legislature is an independent, co-equal branch of government with the constitutional authority and responsibility to make laws. Under the state constitution, the legislature is a co-equal branch of government. But now it is not. We are spectators. Today is March 1st. Exactly 1 year ago today, the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in New York State. 2 days later, the legislature granted Governor Cuomo his emergency pandemic powers. Here we are, 1 year later. 1 year later, and more than a month since the Attorney General's report on nursing homes that confirmed for me and many of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle that it is long past time to end the governor's emergency powers. Since the AG's report, it's been an avalanche of sad and concerning news. The loss of more than 15,000 nursing home and long-term care residents to COVID. The deliberate withholding of information by the Department of Health. Ongoing federal investigations. And amidst all of this, small businesses are still hurting. People are still unemployed, families are still struggling, and kids are still not back in school full-time. Decisions about how and when businesses can operate, who can get the vaccine, and where and when. This is about decisions on whether families can see their moms and dads in nursing homes, when and if students can go back to school 5 days a week. We as lawmakers must have a say in these decisions. The legislature must help lead our state's recovery. We need to work on this together, the legislative and executive branches both, not the executive branch alone, especially in light of what's happening now. So again, I call on my colleagues to act today, end the governor's extraordinary powers, restore the lawful role of the legislature, reinstate our co-equal branches of government and our systems of checks and balances. Vote now for this bipartisan amendment for the good of the government and the people we represent. Let's finally get this done. For these reasons, Mr. President, I strongly urge you to reconsider your ruling.
Thank you, Senator Helming. I want to remind the House that the vote is on the procedures of the House and the ruling of the chair. Those in favor of overruling the chair signify by saying aye.
Mr. President, we have agreed to waive the showing of hands and record each member of the minority in the affirmative.
Without objection, so ordered. Announce the results.
Ayes 20.
The ruling of the chair stands and the bill in chief is before the House. Are there any other senators wishing to be heard? Seeing and hearing none, debate is closed. The secretary will ring the bell. Read the last section.
Section 2, this action take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo Janaris Kruger or Stuart Cousins White.
Senator Borrello to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have to say that I struggled with this bill greatly, not because people do not need the time to get a vaccine, but because of the impact it will have on so many small businesses. You know, there's really no allocation for part-times. If someone's hiring someone to watch their children, are they going to have to give them that 4 hours paid time off? But at the end of the day, I've decided to support this bill, mostly because of the tremendous lack of vaccine that we have here in New York State and the way the governor has handled the rollout of this vaccine distribution. He's made it political. I have people in my district driving hours to get a vaccination, taking whatever appointment might be available, no matter how far away it is, so they can get this much-needed vaccination. So while I really am concerned about the impact on our small businesses, this is really important because of the way the governor has handled the rollout of this vaccine distribution. We cannot really afford to let someone pass up an open appointment. It's like hitting the lottery for some people right now. That speaks to the poor way this has been handled and continues to be handled by this governor and by this administration. So I am voting yes today in the hopes that this will help some folks get their vaccine as soon as they can. Thank you.
Senator Borrello to be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Gennardis to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I rise. I want to thank my colleagues in support of this legislation because what we're trying to do here is make it as frictionless and as easy as possible for every single person in this state to be able to go and get their vaccine, their COVID-19 vaccine. And to my colleague, Senator Borrello, I We all struggle with the vaccine administration, and it's a shame that the federal government under the prior administration failed to have a coordinated national strategy on vaccinations, failed to prepare us for adequate supply, that we are now all struggling. My constituents are struggling with the same issues yours are, as I'm sure many of our colleagues are, because of the failures of the prior federal administration to roll out the vaccines properly and to prioritize those states that were hardest hit by the COVID-19 virus. But we're taking steps to make that better now. We're taking steps with this bill to make it easier for people to be able to take the time that they need to go get their vaccine, both of their doses, if they're taking a vaccine that requires 2 doses, to be able to have time to recuperate. And we are doing this in the same way that we have acted on previous issues to give people paid leave for other important health matters, most recently and most notably our cancer screening bill that we passed 2 years ago. So we are using the same model that we've used in the past. This is something that is tried and true for both employees and employers in the state of New York, and I think it's going to go a long way to help people get the vaccines that we need. And thankfully, over the last couple of weeks, we have seen a significant uptick in the number of vaccines that have been shipped to New York. We have seen a significant uptick in the numbers of vaccinations. We're still not where we want to be, and I'll agree with you on that, but we've certainly made progress over the last couple of weeks. Thankfully that we have an administration in Washington that's listening to us. I vote aye.
Senator Gennardis to be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Lanza to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the sponsor, Senator Gennardis, for this legislation. As my colleague, Senator Borrello, stated, it's so important that we here in the legislature do anything and everything that we can do to get these vaccines into the arms of the people of the state of New York. You know, I find it ironic that we're talking about the federal government. The federal plan, or lack of plan, seemed to have worked for the other 49 states. New York, at the bottom of the heap here, is having a hard time getting vaccines to people. We all know the reason. It's because Dr. Zucker had no plan, zero plan. He was too busy lying to the people of the state of New York instead of making sure that he was putting in place a policy that would allow New Yorkers from one end of the state to the other to get this vaccination. So I commend Senator Gennardis. We need legislation like this. As long as Dr. Zucker's not going to do his job, I'm glad that Senator Gennardis and this body is doing its job. Mr. President, I vote in the affirmative.
Senator Lanza to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 62.
The bill is passed. Senator Gennardis, that completes the reading of the controversial calendar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is there a report of the Finance Committee at the desk?
There is a report of the Finance Committee at the desk. The Secretary will read.
Senator Kruger from the Committee on Finance supports the following nomination. As Deputy Comptroller for New York City, Office of the State Comptroller, Raul Jain.
Okay. Senator Gennardis.
Mr. President, I move the nomination of Rahul Jain as Deputy Comptroller for New York City within the Office of State Comptroller.
The question is on the nomination of Rahul Jain as Deputy Comptroller for New York City in the Office of the State Comptroller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Rahul Jain has been confirmed as Deputy Comptroller for New York City in the Office of the State Comptroller. Senator Gennardis.
Congratulations to Rahul Jain. Is there any further business at the desk, Mr. President?
There is no further business at the desk.
I move to adjourn until tomorrow, Tuesday, March 2nd at 3 p.m.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, March 2nd at 3 p.m.